The air hung heavy with the scent of salt water and regret. Retired Detective Thomas Callahan sat on his porch, staring at the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. It was a sight of tranquility, yet it did little to soothe the turmoil within him. His weathered face, a roadmap of years spent chasing shadows, mirrored the stormy sea before him. Callahan had seen the abyss. He had stared into the eyes of madness and emerged broken but not defeated. The Zodiac case, a spectre of unsolved puzzles and unanswered cries, had haunted him for years. It was a wound that refused to heal, a constant reminder of his failings. He had tried to outrun the past. Trading the bustling city for a quiet seaside town, he sought solace in the rhythmic lull of the ocean. He sought peace in anonymity, hoping to bury the ghosts that whispered his name. But some ghosts refused to be silenced. The past had a way of catching up, dragging him back into the darkness he so desperately sought to escape. He knew it the moment the phone rang, shattering the silence of his self-imposed exile. The voice on the other end was a ghost from a life he left behind. Captain Miller, his voice heavy with a familiar burden, spoke of a coded message, a taunting riddle that bore the unmistakable signature of the Zodiac. A chill ran down Callahan's spine, and the ocean breeze suddenly felt cold. Refusal was his first instinct. He had paid his dues, bled on the same streets where the Zodiac once roamed. Why dredge up the past, reopen wounds that had barely scarred over? He had promised himself he wouldn't be drawn back in, not again, not when the memory of his failure still burned like acid in his throat. But Miller's next words pierced through his resolve. "It's about the missing girl, Tom. The one from your old case files. They found something." Callahan closed his eyes, his face a mask of pain. The unsolved disappearance of Lisa Harper, a young woman who vanished without a trace, had been his last case before the Zodiac's shadow drove him into retirement. The thought of her, frozen in time, a victim he couldn't save, ignited a spark of the old fire in his heart. "Send me the details, Miller," he said, his voice a gravelly whisper. The ocean roared in the distance, a symphony of chaos and fury that mirrored the storm brewing within him. He was a man possessed, driven by the echoes of the past, and a promise he had made to a ghost. He arrived at the station, a relic of a bygone era, stepping into a world awash in technology he barely recognized. Gone were the days of hazy Polaroids and clunky typewriters. The air hummed with the digital symphony of computers, their screens glowing like beacons in the dimly lit room. He was a stranger in this new world, a dinosaur amidst sleek machines, but there, amidst the beeping and whirring, stood a beacon of familiarity, Captain Miller, his face etched with the same worry lines Callahan remembered. "You haven't aged a day, Tom," Miller chuckled, the sound laced with a weariness that betrayed his words. "The feeling isn't mutual, old friend," Callahan replied, his lips twisting into a wry smile. Their reunion was cut short by the arrival of Sarah Chen, a whirlwind of energy and confidence. With a bright smile and a voice that crackled with intelligence, she introduced herself as a true crime podcaster, her expertise lying in the labyrinthine world of modern code breaking. Sarah's enthusiasm was infectious, a stark contrast to Callahan's gruff demeanor. He observed her with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism, unsure of what to make of this tech-savvy millennial who seemed so eager to delve into the darkness he knew so well. The cipher, projected onto the screen, was a jumbled mess of symbols and letters, a puzzle box designed to torment. It was eerily familiar, a haunting echo of the Zodiac's twisted games. Yet there was a subtle difference, a nuance that spoke of a different hand at play. Callahan felt a familiar chill course through his veins as he studied the intricate patterns, his mind racing back to the countless hours he had spent wrestling with the Zodiac's riddles. The symbols swam before his eyes, taunting him with their secrets. Sarah, her fingers dancing across the keyboard, explained her approach, her words a torrent of algorithms and computational linguistics. Callahan listened intently, trying to bridge the gap between his old-school methods and her digital prowess. "It's like a voice from beyond the grave," Sarah said, her usually cheerful tone now laced with a hint of awe. "A ghost reaching out from the past, leaving us a trail of breadcrumbs." Callahan nodded, his gaze transfixed on the coded message. He saw not just a puzzle to be solved, but a chance for redemption, a shot at laying the ghosts of his past to rest. The air crackled with tension as the old guard and the new age collided. Callahan, a man of intuition and experience, found himself at odds with Sarah's reliance on technology. Their methods were different, their approaches poles apart. Yet they were united by a common goal: to crack the code, to give a voice to the voiceless, and to bring a monster to justice. "This isn't a game, Miss Chen," Callahan growled, his voice rough with the weight of his past. "These symbols represent real lives, real pain." Sarah, her enthusiasm momentarily dimmed, nodded in understanding. She saw the pain in his eyes, the burden he carried, and the fierce determination that burned beneath his gruff exterior. "I know, Detective Callahan," she said, her voice soft yet firm, "and I'm here to help you catch him." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the room, a strange sense of camaraderie settled between them. He was a man haunted by his past, and she, a woman determined to rewrite it. They were an unlikely duo, brought together by fate and a shared obsession. But as they stared at the cryptic message on the wall, they knew this was only the beginning. The chase was on, and they were determined to see it through to the end. The Zodiac may have thought he had won. He had vanished into the shadows, his identity a mystery, but he had underestimated one thing: the enduring power of truth and the unwavering resolve of those determined to bring it to light.